Hello, world. My name is George Rowley, and I am the Community Outreach Manager for Philadelphia City Rowing. And I've been a part of PCR for the last 3 years. And today we have the pleasure of having Mr. Wallace Weaver with us. And he's part of a special project that we're doing all month long where we're highlighting and spotlighting local African-American professionals that are doing incredible work in the city of Philadelphia and defying statistics. And because they are defying statistics, they are making Black history in their own way. And so we do have Mr. Weaver here today, and I'm going to get started, go right into it with the questions right here. And so for the first question I have for you, Mr. Weaver, is can you tell us a little bit about your current job, your current role, responsibilities, and how long you've been there?
Sure. So it's a bit of a multifaceted answer. So in one front, I am an educator. I'm actually the senior manager for enrollment with Independence Mission Schools. We're a network of 14 faith-based elementary schools throughout the city of Philadelphia. I come to that work from a background in education. I taught in the classroom for about 5-6 years, from 6th to 8th grade. Was the director of admissions at a local high school in Philly, and then I stepped into this role. So that's really part one. On the flip side, definitely active as a community organizer. I've been working on several campaigns going back to 2012 with the Obama re-election campaign. Currently, I serve as the campaign manager for State Senator Art Haywood, who represents a part of Montgomery County and Philadelphia.
Outstanding, outstanding, great work. So you've been doing this for quite a long time, and I'm noticing the theme here of education and giving back to the youth there. And so I wanted to ask you, how did you get involved in this field? What kind of led you here?
That's a great question. Honestly, it kind of just stems to my own experience and my family's experience. So in just looking at the difference in opportunity and access that was provided to my dad, who was, for all intents and purposes, failed by the education system when he was a youth in Philly, versus the opportunities that he and my mom were able to work to get for me, having grown up right outside the city in Glenside. I was afforded much more opportunities and access to things that my dad was never really able to get. So it's really that type of motivation and inspiration that led me into the education field and community organizing in general, just doing whatever I can to be that bridge, that catalyst, and to really just drive that community power for my students and really all the community.
Oh, that's really special, man. That really resonates with me because I definitely I see a lot of parallels in the work that you're doing, the work that I'm doing, where it comes to just bringing people together, and really, introducing, people of our community to different things and just trying to help them in different ways that we can. So I definitely can resonate with that. And I know you just said that, your father was from Philadelphia, but you were raised like on Glenside. On the outskirts a little bit. Could you talk about, what it was like for you growing up and just being an African-American person, or just your experiences growing up as a youth?
Yeah, for sure. So to start, I mean, I did love growing up in Glenside. I mean, it's still near and dear to my heart, but I will say it was interesting growing up, and while of course I was connected to my family in the city and was able to connect with them, just being the token when it came to actually being in the classroom, even through high school. It was, whenever it was Black History Month, all eyes are looking at you, or just kind of the need for myself to feel like I had to grind twice as hard to make sure that I was combating a lot of the negative stereotypes that society places on Black men in particular. So making sure that I was setting a good example and kind of breaking some of those cultural stereotypes that are placed on us.
Wow. Yeah, and I definitely also can relate to that. And it's unfortunate that as being a minority, you're kind of the symbol for your entire race. Right? So especially when it comes to Black history or anything that has to do with, Black culture, I'm sure they probably came to you to kind of verify or validate certain things. And so that probably could have been tough to kind of lose that individuality and try to become a monolith for your entire race. It probably wasn't fair at all. Yeah. And so how would you say those experiences, growing up in Glenside, seeing what your father had to kind of deal with in the education system, how do those experiences kind of shape you to kind of put you in the role that you're in now?
For sure. I mean, while you can look at it in a negative way, like just having to deal through it and persevere through it, I think it helped for me as a leader. I've always looked to myself as a leader because I'm always willing to put in those extra miles to do that extra work. And I say because of that, like I've never been one to back down from challenges or look at challenges as something that is insurmountable or something that you can't overcome. It's just a matter of finding the right solutions and making sure that you're committed to working towards those solutions.
I like that. I don't know who said it, but there was a quote by someone that said, a problem is just someone who hasn't found a solution yet.
Right.
And so that's great. That's great stuff. And so, Mr. Weaver, you have a time machine, right? And you're able to go back in time to Glenside and you're able to visit yourself in high school just for about 20 to 30 minutes. What would you say to a younger version of yourself?
I would tell myself that it's okay to be flexible. And in fact, you got to adapt. You're always going to have that goal, your end game in mind, but don't be so committed to having everything play out exactly as you planned it, but train yourself up, continue to build your skill sets so that you're able to adapt to whatever life throws at you, because life is going to throw you some curveballs. It's all about how you can react to them.
Yeah, especially after the last 2 years, that's definitely something that being able to adapt and being flexible is very, very important now more than ever. So yeah, that's great advice. I think I needed to hear that too. Awesome. Now, speaking about goals and everything like that, what are your current career goals and aspirations?
So personally, I am looking to continue to grow as far as my political experience. So I worked my way up from really field directing into this campaign manager role. So being able to grow in how to fundraise for campaigns, really build those campaigns from the grassroots up. But then also I didn't mention this year I stepped into the role as chair of the Millennial Advisory Committee. We are a group of committed Philadelphia millennials working with the mayor's office to help make the city a better place. We've done a lot of really great work in the last few years. This year, we really want to be able to listen and respond to the diverse perspective of millennials. So not just the young professionals, but all of millennials really across the city. And this year, we're working on creating a set of policy suggestions to put to the mayor to really to put some action into what we're trying to do.
I like that a lot. And I like the fact that a lot of times when there's issues, they're brought to the mayor's, kind of doorstep. But I love the fact that you're bringing the issues, but also recommendations or possible solutions as well, too. So it's not just you're just talking about what's wrong, but you're also providing ways to things to get better. And I think that's really, really key. That's amazing. Great stuff. Yeah. So if people wanted to kind of contact you for various reasons, what would be the best way for them to contact you?
Well, first, you can definitely follow me on Instagram at Mr._Weaver. But then I would also encourage anyone, particularly the young folks out there, to follow the Millennial Advisory Committee. That's at PHL Millennial. Reach out to us. We're always doing great work in the community. Would love to have anyone to join us in those efforts. And for anyone listening, if you are of the right age and want to join us, we also have many open positions as well. So would love to connect with anyone looking to do some more community work.
Yeah, I was actually going to suggest that. We have a lot of high school age student athletes in our program. And so I definitely think there may be opportunities to have either some community service hours or maybe some internships just to give them exposure to a different aspect I definitely think we can partner in the future to do something, great for the youth. So,
Absolutely.
yeah, thank you so much. Was there anything else you wanted to leave the audience with?
No, I mean, happy Black History Month, everybody. I love this time of year because as a history teacher, I mean, I'm always looking back to the past as a good example for us. But what I love most about Black history is just that it's a challenge for us to not just look at the past, but to grab onto that baton and to carry that legacy into the future. So I know it was Dr. King who said life's most persistent and urgent question is, what are you doing for others? And I hold that question near and dear to my heart. I'm always looking to do more, and I'm sure you feel the same way. And we challenge everybody to, just step up and help build that community power.
Outstanding. I don't even know how to follow that. I'll just say I agree. Thank you so much for your time, Mr. Weaver, and I'm sure we'll definitely collaborate in the future. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right.